Good evening. Former presidential candidate Major General Benon Biraaro is a man on a mission. Barely a month after the fractious polls, Biraaro has dispensed the olive branch, arguing that it's only dialogue that will bring the country back from the cliff. On the spotlight is Major General Benon Biraaro. Major General Benon Biraaro, welcome to the show. You are on the spot tonight.
Thank you.
Before I even get into the mission you're up to, let me get to know your experience and your story, because you had an opportunity to travel across Uganda.
Yes.
From Kisoro to Kotido, Vura to Virunga. Speaking to Ugandans, what do they tell you? What is the story of Uganda?
The story of Uganda is a story of opportunity. They are a story of hope. You go around, you look at how the country, the things that God did for our country. Amazing, a very beautiful country. And then the people, in their eyes, in their talk, you see a lot of hope. They want to work, they want to move on, they want to progress. And so it gives you, it was always encouraging to move on to the next district. And you see a lot. There is no part of Uganda that it does not give you a lot of hope that things can get much better. Yes.
The rough and tumble of a presidential campaign requires a lot of money, a lot of resources, a structure. I mean, who was your funder?
I wish I had a funder, but I certainly it required money, and we looked for money. We started late because at the beginning people were afraid. If you say made a call to so and so to say please give some money, that phone would not be returned. But if you went to their places, offices and this, and then talk to them, first of all they would tell you it is futile to try. Then after that they see you moving to the next stage. They see you sticking there. They see you then okay, come on, one off. But later on people started sponsoring, started giving some little money. It was little because I don't remember covering on average 8 districts without a break. To come to Kampala, sit around for a few days looking for some more of resources from
You seem to have been in this whole thing full throttle. But did you really imagine at the back of your mind that you're optimistic that Biraaro would be the next commander-in-chief?
It is possible. Look at my background. My background is the NRA, the letter called National, the UPDF. The NRA is a 27, started by 27 people to come and remove a government. So that's part of my culture. Secondly, I am a Christian, more importantly, born again. And we don't believe that there is we don't look at impossibilities. No, get going and things will follow you. That's the me, the optimist me. And 3, I'm also, I have traversed the world, been here, there, and there. And so I have looked at poor countries, get out of it. So it gives me hope. It gives me hope. And then last of all, it's not so much about the winning first time that you are looking at. No, it's about contributing to the hopeful nature of man. We must give a sense of hope. We must show that things can be done. And that's what I went to do. And I on that one, I was spot on. And Ugandans believed me.
But you also exposed it.
Yes.
You were exposed, the election exposed your weakness, did it? That politically you're weak.
No, not politically weak. I was beginning with people who had been there 15 years, 30 years. No. I was
the only highlight of Major General Benon Biraaro came at the presidential debate. for me, you performed exceptionally well, which again tells that maybe in the military, we have people who can do wonders. How did the debate change your campaign?
I was a discovery, simply put.
Meaning what?
Meaning that Ugandans were looking at a common site, hearing names, kind of bored. I remember one time, was it Lieutenant General Tumukunde who came on and said, this has been a boring campaign. But after that, it never was again. Because people said, oh, you mean there are people like Biraaro who can articulate issues this well? You mean there are people who have this country at heart? Where has he been?
Why couldn't that translate into something good in the ballot box for General Benon?
Let the Ugandans, and this is common, people do not vote with their heads, they vote with their passion. And this passion has been building over time. Likes, dislikes, and that's what we saw.
The head knows the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes.
The passion just moves just enough.
Yes.
So you think Ugandans are moving on passion, and not necessarily with your mind?
Because what they attributed to me didn't in fact come to be reflected in the ballot paper.
Now let us look at the mission you are up to. You have made, since the results were announced, President Museveni, Dr. Kizza Besigye, and others. And I'm told your mission is to create some kind of dialogue, but that's what I heard. What is your mission?
It's to bring our people, the major parties and others, to the dialogue table. Let us get there. Let us, because you see, we are witnessing something carried over from 2011. Acrimony, disagreements. And so this is not the Uganda that you would wish to have. This is not what you would wish to bequeath to your children. So this, and I believe President Museveni is a very reasonable man. And so is Dr. Kizza Besigye and many other Ugandans that are supposed to participate. Very reasonable people. I have seen them do many things that we thought. They have talked to Kony. President Museveni has sent delegations to talk to Kony. If he can send delegations to talk to Kony, why would it be impossible for him to talk peace with Dr. Kizza Besigye?
But peace for what in this sense? Because you have a president elected with 60%. You can dispute that, but that is what is official. Yes. You have a president elected with 280 members of parliament, almost 3/4. And you have a president elected with over 180 chairperson of districts. Our constitution says the winner takes it all. Why do you want them to dialogue?
That's what the constitution says. But as civilized beings, let me respond with a talk from the Bible. The Lord Jesus told us about the lost sheep. One, which caused a lot of jubilation when it was retrieved. One lost sheep.
So in this case, who is the lost sheep?
So if
General Benon, who is the lost sheep among all these leaders?
First of all, General Benon is a lost sheep. As from what I saw in the polls, I really looked at that and I said, oh, this is not what I expected. And we must talk about it.
You need rescue.
Yes, this country needs rescue. Two, there are people, millions of them, that would wish Uganda to be in a better country. I look forward to a day when I will, because I'm coming back, when I will get a phone call and call the loser. In this case, there will be a loser, and I'm the winner. Or if I lose, to call the winner and say, congratulations, Mr. President. I look forward to that time. It's not now. It's not yet.
So when you went to meet the president, did you go with the heart of a former contestant who is having some kind of humility and modesty to say congratulations?
I did not say congratulations.
You did not?
I didn't say, no, I did not say congratulations.
And you don't believe he won the election?
But I put it in a Runyankore way, Kurkayo, Mr. President. Kurukayo is, you've been on that journey, Kurukayo. So it was, yes, Kurukayo.
No, the spotlight is on you tonight.
Yes.
Do you believe he won?
In the circumstances, in the mixed bag that we have, he won. In the mixed bag.
So if you know in the big mixed bag he won,
yes,
then why are you even suggesting to have a government of national unity or something like that?
Let me tell you, a government of national unity is secondary, but what is important, Mr. Kamara, is to sit on a table and say the following things do not augur well for the Ugandan democracy, style of democracy. A few things, starting from the way we started. If you look at the whole process, if I should describe it, you are going to this campaign, the incumbent candidate is already campaigning. And the rest are saying, no, you cannot start. And if they start, there are helicopters over their heads. That kind of thing. It doesn't show the spirit of a nation looking for leadership. And Uganda, we fought a liberation war here. So we should be the leaders. We should be the ones telling people about democracy, not running or yearning to have democracy like we see elsewhere. So, and this is why I talked about reasonable people. Everything we are talking about. When I went to President Museveni, and just as I went to Dr. Chiza Besigye, I shared my experience, what I saw. Nobody said, no, that's a lie or this, what I saw. And I was happy that President Museveni picked a phone, called a few people to say,
when you're there?
When I was there. And he gave me his phone. His message was, every time we are going into elections, I try a modernizing influence to get to where we must be. So he gave me somebody to talk and did this work, was this on his own phone.
What was he trying to tell you, to show you?
No, his heart was in making it better all the time. So that was a good starting point.
Like the using of the biometric and all this kind of thing.
He described many things and gave me somebody to talk to. So when he did that, I saw his heart in modernizing. When I went to Dr. Chiza Besigye, he also, and both of them gave me more than 2 hours. More than 2 hours seated, one-on-one, no other person. And that one gave me an opportunity to say what I could to them. The outcome of it from President Museveni, before that I had told the nation that the difficulty will come from the president who has been declared winner with 61%. How do you, but he said, no, dialogue is my responsibility. Shared government, no. At that point he was categorical. He said, no. I want cohesion, I want this, I have done some work, and indeed.
So you have an FDC party and a presidential candidate who is saying he won this election.
Yes.
And you have the Electoral Commission announcing President Museveni he won with 60+%.
Yes.
And he's saying unity government, no way, dialogue is okay. And yet for them they think he shouldn't even be there. How would you even imagine that you can bring these people close together to even discuss? Because they seem to be far away, like from west to east.
In the 2 hours I spent with all of them, I was able to see, what can I say, a different person from the official people. They allowed me space.
Deep and understanding.
Yes. As I talked more about my mission, I could see they were getting on board as I talked more about my mission. So what my approach was simple. Describe what you saw. Describe the need for improvements. Describe the way for unity in this country. And paint patriotism as coming together. It's not splitting, it's not conflict. This is what, a give and take. This is what I described.
But I have heard from the FDC leadership that there are issues that the system is unfair, there's injustice, and they are not sharing on that prosperity. So if you don't treat these issues, can you bring together people who feel the system is unfair, is unjust, and there's no shared prosperity? How do you bring such people together?
They are very, very different points of views from both angles. But what I saw was, yes, actually both of them were told me that there had been other missions before, peace missions, by different people. But the fact that they both said that we can dialogue is anything, hard points will be sorted out. Because in the dialogue, many things will come to the front and they will be discussed.
So where do you get your mandate as a former contestant to even start talking about dialogue? Who appoints you? Where do you get that power from?
Before I went to this campaign, I told the nation, I said, Ugandans, you are going to have a repeat of the 2011 situation if you do not vote Farmers' Party. But you see, it is incumbent upon, Biraaro is not going to live on this planet for good. So I have a mission to see that tomorrow is better than yesterday. So I don't have to wait for, if you don't lead, you won't get followers, period. If you don't take the first step, nobody will follow. And then immediately, I started talking about peace after NBS. And that's where, after that first interview, and I said, I am going, pray for me. Their prayers worked. I went to Dr. Chiza Besigye. It took me a whole day calling, and nobody. It was at 9 when I saw him respond. Getting President Museveni was equally difficult. I called for 2 days. Yes, calling different people. They couldn't help, but then I landed on the line. And finally, the president got me and said, come. Of course, they had seen my interview when I said peace should be the main thing after this election. So they welcomed me. And then they talked dialogue. So there is some, I wouldn't want to say a moral authority as if I'm judging others, but it is incumbent upon every Ugandan to work for peace. It is incumbent upon us. And then after that, people from the FDC, people from the NRM started calling in. The most impressive thing was when they started from both camps, telling me, if you are going to talk peace with President Museveni, or suggesting, these are the people that you...
But look, the two people, including yourself, were in Luwero fighting a bush war.
Yes.
But it appears to me that talks still shimmers like a mirage in the desert for them. It is not something they have, really, talking peace. You know, you see, people are bitter instead of getting better.
Exactly. That's where you see, again, leadership. Leadership is when you are sleeping, you are a leader. When you are walking, you are a leader. When you are and leader, you look at the situation on the street. You look at the you hear people talk. You do what? You say, oh, somebody must come in now. And then when you come in, you do not paint yourself as important. And this is what I did to both of them. It's not. I'm not important. Uganda is important. I'm not important. No. And if I continue like this alone, it will be lost somewhere on the way. So I immediately went for phase 2. After that, I went to those people who had tried to bring talks to them. I spent time with them. We talked, different groups. I met them differently. Then I requested them to get together. They got together. Those who had tried in 2006, 2011, they got together. We sat, we looked at it, and now a way forward is another phase, looking at other Ugandans who are not looking for favors from Dr. Chiza Besigye from President Museveni, but who have the stature and who know more about this kind of process than I do, with better experience. Those are the people I'm now contacting, across the nation, one by one. This is where I am now. So that it's not a Biraaro thing, no, it's a national thing, and where some of them you sound them out, and the moment he tells me, will the president accept? Then that one I put aside, I reserve. Then the other one who says that's the thing to do, I get an appointment, I run to him because I want their personal conviction about what we are doing. Yes.
But now, here is somebody bragging and has the bragging rights for having won. Here is somebody incarcerated in a home and he cannot leave. And you're telling him, you know what, we need dialogue. See, really, when you meet Dr. Besigye, he tell you, look, I'm held up here. I cannot even move. I cannot even go and vote. I cannot even go and pray. I can't even fend for my family. And you're telling me I should dialogue when I'm not free?
No,
I should talk peace, yet I'm not free?
They know more than that. We did not, for the 2 hours, we did not discuss the police, the whatever, his incarceration. We didn't.
You never thought that was important?
With Dr. Besigye, we didn't. Nothing. He was not involved in self-pity or anything. He immediately went into the history of the dialogue processes, this and that, what he thought was dishonest, that kind of thing, until he bade me farewell at his gate and went back to his house. He never. That one of his incarceration can be dealt with, and he knows it can.
But did you raise it to the president that, look, it is unfair, it is not right, it is abusing somebody's right of freedom of movement to keep him grounded at his home, turning it as a prison, turning it as a court, and turning it
that's one of the reasons why I want dialogue. I am praying for dialogue. But I did not go to President Museveni to tell him what he knew, because he knows it. Because he knows it is not freedom for somebody. It's not among the bills of rights. He knows it. When you are, and in the 2 hours, we went through many things, including also previous attempts, this and that. We really focused on dialogue and the likely outcome.
The dialogues, for example, in Kenya, brought a unity government of sorts.
Yes.
The dialogue in Zimbabwe brought some kind of unity government.
Yes.
President Museveni has told you unity government is out of the question. The dialogue, he's ready for dialogue. Now, what would that dialogue bring?
When President Museveni tells you
that's what he told you?
Yes, he did. When he tells me that, I have seen President Museveni for the last 30 years. I have seen him for the last 30 years. You saw him in that debate. I don't want to say he can, at the first instance, put a position, just like Dr. Besigye also was putting positions. So the only thing I wanted was dialogue. But once the dialogue starts, everything will get on the table. It was a short time when President Museveni said he would not come for the debate, school debate, something like that. Then he changed his mind, which is a positive for a leader. The ability to change his mind.
So you think he can change his mind?
He can change his mind.
And accept the unity government?
In my view, he can change his mind. In my view. Dr. Besigye can change his mind. So I don't want to say that. I don't want to make him dig in and say this time I'm not. But over time.
Is this country not so polarized that the two FDC and NRM and the leaders cannot actually meet and agree?
But it is not about the. This is why I said Ugandans. Look at the 8. It was 3.5 plus 5 something, which is around 8 million to 9. But this is a country of 36 million. Some who were not involved in that exercise. The voters themselves are supposed to be 16 million. So 7 million were not convinced to come to vote. You get it? See, just knowing that out of the 16 million, only 9 came. 7 of them were like, we are not convinced. It's not good enough. It's not good enough.
We're going to take a break, General Biraaro. When we come back, I want to know from you, when you met President Museveni and Dr. Besigye, do you get a sense that they can put, or they are putting this country first, or their interest first? We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching On The Spot. My name is Patrick Kamara, and my guest tonight is Major General Benon Biraaro, former presidential candidate. We have a history of bloodshed and anarchy. Every leader has left State House through the back door, if I may use that word. Where is Uganda's watershed moment to reverse this kind of trend, double trend?
The 1986 struggle, 81, 86, had given us a unique chance to sort out all those. But the problem came about when term limits
were lifted.
And so, again, it put in confusion the way the next leader will get in. And that's why the context still goes on in a way that is not very, very civilized. So this is why I am optimistic that the people, the players, still have that dream of having this Uganda going on a road to democracy, to changing governments easily, as we see our neighbors, some of them doing. And so when I look at that, I have a lot of hope, because the people who were fighting for democracy, who introduced us as young men to it, are still on the spot, are still around. And so when I go to them, it was with that sense of even asking them, are you happy with what is happening? Do you like it? Can't we do better? This is not to say you have not done much. I know there is a line, the President Museveni usually takes a line on things on the ground, what he has done. And when I was in those districts, in Arua, wherever up there, I saw the electricity and the roads. I was grateful. But so Libya had a lot of those and more. But if you do not solve this political issue, the sticking issue, those become sidestepped, and the anger and whatever spoils your effort.
So when you, if in your grand scheme of things, if President Museveni or FDC and NRM met, I mean, what do you want to happen thereafter?
It will not be those two. In my view, it should not be those two only. There must be other. There are many players. There are many stakeholders. We get there, and the question is, how can we better see? How can we ensure that democracy, proper democracy, occurs here? If it is something like occurring, how can we have it in Uganda? What should be the end state being? A candidate feeling good, level ground, everything, and then you call the winner and you say, my brother, congratulations, you have won the contest. My sister, you have won the contest. I will support you. I will support you for this period. Thank you, congratulations. This is what I'm looking at.
That's the ideal picture you want to see.
Yes, and it can happen. And it is happening in other countries. Why not Uganda? This is what I want. So, and to get to that end state, then we will say it cannot happen if the following stays as it is. Mr. Kamara, how do you feel whenever I get to the village, for one, they see the car, the next moment I have more than 8 people in my compound. I'm a politician, I can't stop meeting them. I don't have police permission. So if Kaihura wanted to arrest me, just follow me until I get to my home, and then he will find me holding an illegal rally in my compound. Because why do we have such a law? These are some of the things to talk about. Really, why? Why should we have such a situation in Uganda? Why didn't we have it between 1986 and 2001 or something, 2011? So let's put the clock, get back to the drawing board.
You served Uganda as a military officer at the highest level. Probably even started in the high command, right?
Okay, yes.
And you've had an opportunity to speak with the president and all the powers that be. And yet you have seen these things happen for quite some time. And one wonders, why is it that most of the time you could stand by and watch and let it happen?
No, in the military, when I was in the military, starting from 1996, after the first presidential election, I had time to meet the president and talk to him about the way forward. And in many cases, he would say, yes, that's what we want to do next. Yes, yes, yes. So I have never shied away from telling the president, not only the president, anybody in authority, what is not going well. I've never. Yes.
So you have ever?
I've always. Yes, 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 yes.
And yet your message is not responded.
No,
they don't.
Especially when you are in the military, you have the duty to advise. Action is upon the one you are advising. You are commander. You are commander in chief. That is his part. But you get this thing off your chest by bringing it square and clearly to the president or the commander of the military.
Now, talking about the military, you are a retired army officer who served at the highest level as deputy chief of staff, if you can remember. The continuing army presence on the streets was described by the International Court of Justice Judge Julius Sebutinde as a pressure cooker situation. Does it worry you?
It does. It does, because you see, the presence, you see, the army comes in, the presence of the military on the street is a consequence of what they anticipate, intelligence, whatever. So I can't blame them for responding to that intelligence. But I want us to sit down and talk. What causes them that situation to be there? Ugandans are very forgiving people. They are likable people. They love they love enjoying themselves. So why that tension? Why that? So this is deal with the cause, not the symptoms. The symptom is you see it with the presence of the military. Certainly, protecting people and their property, or assisting the police in a case, is part of their mandate, of the military mandate. Yes, in case the police said we need you to beef us our security, yes, they are supposed to be there. Protect the shops.
Today, I met a young man, and I actually also met a young lady who was telling me, you're going to meet Major General Biraaro. Please, he served in the army. He knows these people. The deployment sickens them. They are kind of sick and tired. They don't want to see it.
True.
And they're saying, what can he do? What can he advise to these former bosses in the army? Because they don't want it. True. They feel that
even forget about it. We lose money. We lose money by the world seeing the picture of AK-47s around every street, because journalists don't want to come to such situations. Governments are
tourists.
Yes, tourists rather, not journalists. Tourists don't want to come to such a situation. So we lose money. So the quicker we, you see, and I tell everybody that the main problem, the main challenge that we have is fighting poverty, which ranks us as a HIPIC country, heavily indebted poor country. So the second issue, the other one is the primary, the main thing, the disturbing thing. The other one is how we organize ourselves internally, politically, to deal with those things. And that must be seamless, smooth, in order to focus our effort there. But if we don't, the political becomes primary, and this one becomes secondary. So this is what I'm telling these leaders, responsible leaders. Quickly let us resolve this thing, the political issues. And then we get all of us negative energies. People wake up feeling bad with headaches about the situation, political situation. This is, instead of feeling bad about poverty and going to do their best, seeing innovative energies and what not released, we are seeing anger and, this morning I was surprised. I woke up and the first call was a group of 9 young Ugandans, youth really, one a pastor, another one about several graduates, and others coming all the way to Munyonyo where I reside, and coming to me before breakfast, first of all to thank me for this effort. I looked at them and they had a write-up, and they are backing the peace effort. I looked at them, one was, several were from Soroti, several, Kisoro, others Kampala, this mixed. And I listened to them. They were saying, thank you, we are backing you. We are going to tell the youth to back this effort. And when I looked at that, first of all, that was like an injection to me for well done, Benon, continue. But on the other hand,
a shot in the arm.
I looked at the concern, because they should be more concerned with fighting poverty than bringing peace and reconciliation, which should be for the people who elders. The young people are taking it up. It is worrying them. They don't know where the future lies. This is why every Ugandan, I may not be articulate enough. I may not have the convincing language to tell the leaders and whatnot to quickly respond to the needs of our country. But the people are calling every day. I immediately after I had talked to President Museveni, I got a group from FDC. And they came in, they asked me, have you talked so and so and so and so, such leaders? Then I had my reservations about some of them, because there are some hardliners, there are some this and that. They said, no, don't get discouraged. Don't talk to so and so, go talk so and so. These ones, so I could see these are people from FDC telling me to go ahead, and yet they are supposed to be very, very angry and what.
So the two leaders, the two protagonists, do they have this country? Are they putting Uganda first? Did you see it in them?
I want to believe it. I want to believe it in that they are putting Uganda first. Of course, we know the Ugandan society has played about their differences, and I don't want to descend to that level. I want to believe that they are putting this country first. I want to trust them. I want to trust that at any one time they know that Uganda is bigger than themselves, than we, the leaders. I want them to, so I am trusting them that they think like that. Yes. Because historically, there is a record. Both of them have a record where they have put Uganda first. At least these two people, Dr. Chiza Besigye, President Museveni, they have that record. And nobody can take that record away from them. So I want to remind them of that record, to say, then Uganda was calling, now Uganda is calling.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, I'll open the line so that you two at home can call, ask General Benon a question, or make a comment, or make a contribution for what we need to do for our country. We'll be right back.
This week's edition of the East African. Read what our columnists have to say on the crisis of elections in East Africa. Mudhoni Wanyeki asks why we bother to play the game when the playing field is tilted. Fred Mutebi asks whether the difference between perception and reality matters if everyone believes an election was stolen. LC Eyakuze believes universal suffrage is central to African nationalist identity. Plus, Charles Obo on why the Burundi-Rwanda spat is dangerous for regional stability. Generali Ulimwengu on David Cameron's peculiar habit of wife swapping. Grab your copy of the East African from any vendor outlets. The East African, understanding the region.
Wanna make some cash? Just dial *185#. pay your bills, load data over airtime. You could also send some cash. Come on, use Airtel money. You could win a lot of cash.
All you gotta do is dial *185#. Then you get to Yola.
Dial *185# and Yola.
Yola Maja with Airtel Money. Dial *185# and transact.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Join us for the live broadcast of the 63rd State of the Nation platform, organized by Accord in collaboration with Uganda Youth Network and the Uganda National NGO Forum, this Friday, 11th March at 8 a.m. under the theme Beyond 2016, Stabilizing Post-Election Governance in Uganda. The keynote speaker will be Ambassador Bethu Kiplagat, Senior Consultant on Peace and Conflict Resolution.
Welcome back. You're watching On the Spot. My name is Patrick Kamara, and my guest tonight is retired Major General Benon Biraaro, former presidential candidate. There are those people who have said the role of the army in elective politics is, it remains critical, and they criticize it because it sort of doesn't go well with our democratization process. What's your opinion?
If I was president, we wouldn't have the army in parliament. We wouldn't. We would change that because one, it puts them in a very awkward position. When they are there, they are not supposed to talk, and yet these are people with brains. And then when it comes to voting, they vote with one party, as if the army is. You see, there has been this fusion between you can't easily get the army, the government, these permanent institutions from the temporary ones which come on and off the stage. So now the army is
saying the NRM party is fused with the state institutions.
With state institutions. So that one is something to talk about, because if we were to leave the army, let them go. If Ugandan said no, the army must be there, then allow them to vote with, to follow their conscience. But always, you remember when Bulgaria voted different, and he never went back to parliament. So you see that role, it compromises there. What are they doing there? Why go there?
Let us join,
yes.
Let us hear what Ugandans are going to say tonight. I'm going to open the lines so that you too can have your moment and tell us what you think about this mediation process, the dialogue that General Biraaro has started. Let me take the first caller. Hello. Hello.
Yes. First of all, I would like to thank. Hello.
Yes, you're on air. First of all, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, this is Benson Wakashawa from Mbarara.
Wakashawa Mbarara, you're on air, sir. Go right ahead.
I would like to thank General Biraaro for the good work he's doing. And second, on the issue of whether Museveni or Besigye put the account first, I must say that Museveni should lay off your answer no, because of what he promised Ugandans some time back, and what he has finally done, and even on the fact that he has openly said that he is not willing in any way to share the presidency with any, or the governance of it with any person. That means that he's definitely not interested. For the side of Kano, it's 50-50 at the moment, but for him you can see that in him, because we can predict it. He has not been the president, he has not compromised with Ugandans in any way, so we may assume him he can.
It's 50-50.
General Museveni, I'm personally convinced that he cannot make it to that level.
For a man who 35 years ago risked it all and went to the bush, didn't he put his country first then?
No, because from the fundamental change to what we are now seeing, how do you call it, putting it on the first?
Thank you very much, Mr. Bakashava from Biraaro.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Let me take some more callers online. Hello. Hello. Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from? Mugisha in Kanyanya. Okay.
Okay, I just want to start.
Yes, you're on air, sir.
Yes, I want to thank General Benon Biraaro. And I also want to give you my advice and my thinking, also my stand.
Okay.
Yes. You see, President Museveni called me Southman, whom now, because when I see General Benon, the country is at heart. You have to discount. But the personality and the Mr. Museveni himself is someone in the Western Uganda, in Western Angola, state. I think in English we would say, tell him off, tell him off. It's really this country is our role. It seems now Museveni is all defensive. He's like on survival politics, whereby he doesn't care about everyone. If someone who doesn't care, tells him off what he's on and what. I think Mr. General Benon needs also to tell him off.
What do you makes you say that he doesn't care?
He doesn't care. What don't you see? If someone why is he punish him? Why is he?
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me pick two more or three so that then General Biraaro can respond to you, to your comments and what you have to say tonight. Hello. Sorry about that. Hello. Hello. Yes. Good evening, sir. What's your name?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello? 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 Okay, we seem to have a problem with the lines right now, but then you've heard about 2-3 people.
Yes, I have heard about Mr. Wakashavandi saying President Museveni does not put the country first. Yes, of course, when we talk, we show which side we are of the divide, and so I can see Mr. Mugisha and Mr. Maka. But thank you, all of you have thanked me for the effort. I just want to tell them that if you are in a position to bring even to tell him off, do it during the dialogue. Create that atmosphere where you can get everything from your heart to the table, so that he also can tell you off. Yes, because it cannot be, dialogue does not assume that it's one-way traffic. It's also the other side. So and secondly, people who, especially the youth and the young people who are angry and have passion and this and that, nations are built more on agreement, dialogue, than this showing, telling them off, telling leaders off, telling this one off. And when you are in the business of dialogue, respect is number one, is very, very important. If I went to Dr. Chiza Besigye and he said, I don't like this, I would respect him for that, because I know he is a human being. He is a human being. There are things that really throw him off, or President Museveni for that matter. So respect the people that you are going to talk to, because they matter. Because whether you wish him off or not, he matters now. He matters. So if he matters big time, then approach him in a way that does not demean him. Yes, telling him off, we'll throw the baby and the
Plus water.
plus the dirty water together. Yes. So this is why I say, yes, angry you are. You have your good observation points. I also must respect Mr. Wakashaba and Mr. Mujisha. But on the other hand, this thing we are dealing with is delicate. I have talked to others who say they almost got there, but they failed. So if we are to succeed, we must use more than the ordinary effort, because we are dealing with, first of all, a political problem that has taken some time, is rooted, and secondly, we are dealing with people who have used violence to solve problems before. President Museveni, Dr. Chiza Besigye, have that background. Mm-hmm. So violence is using violence is okay.
And it appears Ugandans are tired of politics of confrontation.
Exactly.
Let us take involve more Ugandans and those who are calling right now. I'm going to pick a caller online. Hello. Good evening, sir. What's your name? I'm sorry, I can't hear you well. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, you are speaking with Jimmy.
Jimmy, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Busitema.
Busitema? Okay, you're on air, sir.
Actually, what I want to ask, yes. Okay, what I want to ask, most patient goes to I want just some clear view concerning the election of the electronic fair. If it was fair or it was not fair.
Was this election fair? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
From
It was fair, it was not fair. Why is that the policemen surrounding people home where they didn't allow anybody to breathe, they didn't allow him to relax. So now that is the peaceful country we want.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, caller there from Busitema. Let me take another one. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, hello?
Yes? No, I'm sorry, sir. There's an echo into the studio where you are because you have left the volume up. Please turn down the volume so that you can have a conversation. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Patrick Amara.
What's your name and where are you calling from tonight?
This is Brian, calling from Kireka.
Kireka, you're on air, sir.
Yes, thank you so much. Now, honestly speaking, I would like to thank Dr. Biraaro. I wish almost all Ugandans were like him, but I'm sure there's one challenge he's going to get. And that challenge, Ugandans are very bitter with it. You know, it's very hard.
Ugandans are bitter. Are you saying Ugandans are bitter?
So bitter, including me.
Why can't you be better instead of being bitter?
Both, actually.
Okay, go right ahead, sir.
You know, you want the dialogue between the ruling president and somebody who is subjected into his house, arrested, tear gas. This is not clear. So I think, to me, I wish Brown would first go to President Museveni, tell him about the atrocities he's doing against doctor, and then he can stop that, then the other can come later. But for now, I don't think it will be easy for a dialogue between somebody who is being arrested in his house and somebody who is deliberating outside, warning his high.
Thank you very much. Let me take two more callers. And hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Moses Ali, calling from Gulu.
Moses Ali from Gulu, you're on air, sir.
Yeah, I want to ask you, Mr. Biraaro.
Yes.
Moses Ali, calling from Gulu.
You're on air. Continue.
My question, are we really safe if police have started breaking into our houses and offices?
Okay. Your question is precise and concise. Let me take another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I am from Sama.
I'm sorry. Okay, that line is not clear, so I'll have to pick another line. Hello.
Yeah,
Good evening, madam. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Grace calling from Toronto.
I'm sorry?
Grace calling from Toronto.
Grace calling from Tororo, you're on air.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what you want, let him go talk to President Biden, so that is from his house, let him move, talk to the people, then people can do that.
Okay.
What did you want?
You're saying that you want the government or the police to let Besigye move. Is that what you're saying?
Of course, that controlling that what is that. So let him order the police to leave the home.
Okay, that line is not very clear, unfortunately, but what I picked is that you need to see Besigye to be left alone, free and moving. In fact, today he was wearing a T-shirt saying he can't even breathe. They're stopping him
from breathing.
from breathing.
Yes.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening. I'm calling from Banana.
And your name?
Called Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're on air.
Now, my concern is one. People are saying
Yes.
that the man has accepted his faith. Dr. Besigye.
Yes.
Now, if the person really poses a threat to the internal security of the country, what you do as the head of state?
Could you repeat that, sir? Because we were missing a few words. I think the line was not very clear.
Saying that Dr. Besigye is considered a threat.
Okay, all right, you got it.
If the person, sir,
Yes.
if the person not respect the rule of law,
Mm-hmm.
Ugandans are getting out of control
Mm-hmm.
because of the peace that has been given up the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
How do you expect the man to be handled? Actually, it is a kind of master to be, because all the time he talks of violence, and he has, from the start, said he's going violence. Is that the democracy he's talking about? Is that the good peace or the good discipline he's teaching the young generation of this country?
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
I think people should understand that there should be a limit in exercising your right.
Okay, thank you. Well, quite a number of people want to contribute, but maybe you respond to those.
Yes,
and,
of course they are all concerned that Dr. Besigye is under arrest. I remember when I visited him, he has cows near his place. He has a kind of a farm. So I looked at some cows and they needed a bit of attention. I'm a farmer. And he jokingly said, well, what can I do? They are being fed on tear gas every day. That his cows are also receiving a big dose of tear gas every day. So true, Ugandans want Dr. Besigye out, and I share that sentiment. I share it. But let Ugandans understand my role. I am not going in as a policeman. I'm not going in. I am seeing a challenge, and I'm saying, how do we overcome this? Is it a one-man thing? We need to sit on the table and then agree. Mm-hmm. We are mature enough, we are reasonable enough, and we all love this country. That's what because you have been asking, do these people have Uganda at heart? So this, I assume they have Uganda at heart. I assume they are reasonable. I assume they see the conditions. So both of them. So this is why I'm saying, people, Okay, you can take court, you can take this other, but unless we get back to the table and agree on the way forward, we may miss the point big time.
I've heard many people say that the people are bitter, the population, you know, that Ugandans are bitter. Are Ugandans bitter, or maybe people in Kampala are bitter, or those in the opposition are bitter? What is your analysis of this bitterness I'm hearing?
Yes, I have been talking to people from the movement. Let me give you an example. And they are not happy with Dr. Chiza Besigye's arrest.
The movement people?
Movement people. I have talked to people from FDC who say that not conceding consistently does not show goodwill on the part. So they kind of have a torch and they shoot into the darkness of their dark spots of their own party in different areas. So you have those people of goodwill saying, we wish this one would happen, we wish. So, and that counterbalances. So there is not bitterness, I wouldn't call it bitterness, because after elections, there is unexpected kind of frustration. Once you don't win, there is frustration. But there is the other type of frustration when you think you would have done better had the conditions been different. Yes, I feel like that myself. I would have done much better had the conditions been. This is why I was screaming my lungs out when we got the debate, where I said, this is the only level ground in the entire exercise. So that was a kind of expressing the fact that out there is no level ground. Somebody tabulated the time given by New Vision and UBC, and he found that between them they devoted 89% of the campaign time to one candidate, and the rest shared 11%. And these are supposed to be balanced, if members of the press could not be. So these are some of the issues that really don't go well. 89% to candidate Museveni, then the rest, 11 only to the other candidates. So
do you still carry the ambition and the desire to be head of state of this country?
Coming, no doubt.
So you'll be coming back in 2021? 2021.
Immediately after this work on the party, spread the party across the nation, because the farmers are there. The farmers are there. This is nothing, not difficult to take. The farmers are there, the workers are there, the youths are there, the women, the children, whose school system we must change, they are there. So it's a question of not even a long time to go. Get there, get going, and they will know their party, their natural party. And then we will get into...
But you know what? Even if you did well by 1,000%, you'd still not even get... You see how difficult it is?
This is a seed. What happened in 90 days is a seed. I told you, those who have been there harvesting, mine is a seed. And a seed of over 24,000, that means within 90 days you create about 300 people per district to support you. Oh, congratulations, Benon. That was good.
Okay, our time is out. General Biraaro, give us your concluding remark tonight.
The concluding remark is Ugandans, we need peace, we need a way forward, we need proper democracy, and all that is not, we should not achieve those through violent means. We tried that, but we are still on the way. So let us get to encourage everybody. Don't encourage radicalism. Don't encourage fights and this and that. Let's talk. Uganda gave, since 1962, Uganda has gone through about 20 conflicts, armed conflicts, but we have not achieved much. Let us, as we gave that part of history to conflict, let's give a lot of time this time to dialogue. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have heard him there, Major General Benon Biraaro. He's telling us that we can make it as a country. Ugandans, let us be better and not bitter. Good night, and God bless Uganda.